Okay, now it's your turn. We'll give you 5 minutes. You tell us why you're running, whatever critical points you want to convince these people to vote for you.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to address those questions. Those are questions along topics that I hear in every town hall meeting, every meet and greet that I have across this district. It is saddening, as well as producing great concern to me, that two words that I hear constantly as I go across this 7th district, 7 counties, more than I ever heard in any of my campaigns, either in the state legislature or in Congress. Two words being fear and scared. And I'm hearing them from individual American citizens, taxpayers, workers, moms, dads, college students. And they're saying, I fear what's happening to my country. I'm fearing that we're losing our country. Or I'm scared that we can't change this. I have a big burly farmer stand up in an ag meeting a few weeks back and say, I appreciate what I heard from you, Tim, but I mean, is it possible? Can we take our country back? And my answer is always, resolutely, absolutely, we can take this country back. And the answer to why is because we're Americans. We've done this before. We've won 2 world wars. Arguably, we've won most of the wars we've been in. Our government has caused us at times to back away and lose some things. But we win if we take the opportunity. So in talking about why I'm running, that goes at the heart of it. When I look at my grandkids and understand that right now, because of the health care takeover, let alone all of the other trillion-dollar deficits that Mark Schauer has supported, and the 9,000 earmarks in some of those bills. I know that Micah and Claire, my grandkids' income is being spent now before they've even earned it. That can't continue. More importantly, I know that their freedoms are being taken away that I, as a young person, just assumed would always be here. And I understand that unless I do what's necessary, as one, but one, in concert with many others, to stand up and take this country back to its foundational principles, I won't be able to pass on to my grandkids, let alone great-grandkids, a nation that is at least as good and as free and as powerful and as strong and creative as I benefited from. And I look at the political issue, and getting back in this race after a tough loss in the last election, a loss that was more of a taking from me than losing, but nonetheless it was the same outcome. And people who voted for hope and change and walked away from the same old Republican Party that I fought and voted against, even voting against my president for the financial bailout and other things. I determined that with my proven conservative, principled record that no one else has in this race, and I say that clearly, no one in this race has a proven, principled conservative record. None of them have been in the firing line of politics. None of them have stood up against the majority and voted for the citizens and voted for freedom as I have. None of them have the record in the economic or social policy issues, or freedom issues that I have. None of them would go to Congress as a second termer with the seniority that gives to develop the power from the conservative base to take this country back that I can. And ultimately, that's the reason my wife and I decided we'll go for it. Let me finish by reading this. And I say those points not disparaging my opponents, except for Mark Schauer, and disparaging him only on his political stance. I disagree vehemently with him on where he stands. But I read this to almost every group that I'm in. And I will read this again this morning. And it comes from a statement that I will make over and over again so that individuals can come up to me during the course of my tenure in office if I'm given the privilege to represent the 7th District again And if they ever have a concern of the direction that I'm going, that I'm violating what I said I would do, they can point to my brain on my hip, my BlackBerry, and say, pull it out. Pull up those stands. Let's talk about that. And this is what I say. I'm Tim Walberg, and this is where I stand. I stand for our founding principles. Principles such as belief in God, our Declaration of Independence, Constitution, Bill of Rights. I stand for freedom. Freedom to start a business, to choose your doctor, what you drive, what you eat, to carry a gun, to teach and raise your own children, and to live your own life. I stand for personal responsibility. Let's reward and encourage common sense good behavior and discourage bad behavior. I stand for limited government that includes limited regulation, limited spending, limited taxing, and limited borrowing. And I stand for life and all other American traditional values. The key difference in this race that will come to a head in November is that while Mark Schauer clearly puts his trust in big government, 96% of the time he's voted with big government, Pelosi and Obama. While he puts his trust in big government, I clearly put my trust in the people of America. And for that reason, I look forward to being re-elected to a second term with a separation in between and going back and fighting for all of the principles that made this country great. Thank you.